All right, so welcome to episode 19 of Stock Talks from the Chart Readers. If you haven't already, hit subscribe on YouTube. It really is the fastest way to get all the updates. So I wanted to do a new sector today, and since there was a pretty hard meme run on the psychedelics, the mushrooms, whatever you want to call them, I think I'm going to go over one, two, five tickers, maybe six. I have five that are definitely on the major markets, and then one that's an over the counter, so we'll see what time looks like. But yeah, we're going to look at some mushroom stocks. Like we always do, we're going to start with the moving averages. I actually already drew some lines. Most of the other ones, which I don't think will have lines, but this is a stock I actually do follow. And then we'll use these lower indicators as backup. So Mind medicine. All right, I'll be honest. This was a funny one because I got a bunch of. So let me actually tell you how I use these videos. Right. First off, I've always mentioned this. Right. The way I move my money is I use another indicator set called the one. It has more than just this. Is really what the difference is. And more info just makes me feel more comfortable. For a lot of people, it's actually a little overwhelming. And this right here isn't. I promise you, this right here isn't that bad at all. So, look, right now we're in after hours and there's a lot going, and clearly it's like literally just fighting on this 200 line, which is really funny to watch as I talk. But what happened here, right? I'll tell you, this is something that I was watching, and yesterday we actually got a break of the 20 and the 50. Now, if you see here, it's not the first time it's happened, right? We actually broke the 20 and the 50 this day, had the drop down, and then come back up. If you've seen my videos, I mention that often, right? You generally break a line and fail really hard, or you break a line, come back, and then bounce off another one, right? So yesterday, we got the break of the 20 and the 50, and in all honesty, I wanted to see if we were going to get the confirmation to get in. Unfortunately, this thing just gapped by the time I woke up and wasn't able to get in. But I use these lines as my alerts, right? I set price alerts, and if it crosses the line, I get a notification on my phone. And yeah, Mind Medicine just blew up. My wife was not happy. It's 6:30 in the morning for us, right? I'm on the West Coast, so this one was a funny one. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to say a couple things, right? Obviously, I've said, when you're over the 8, it's good. As you break moving averages and break lines, it's good. These are also really beautiful lines on the MACD and the RSI. All that said, it's extremely dangerous to play a 50% gain, the next day, right? If you are going to play this stock, I have two sincere pieces of advice. Number one, make sure you're literally finger on the mouse all day, because this thing can move very quickly up, but it could also move very quickly down, and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side. So just be real careful if you're not in as of if tomorrow's your opening position on this, be careful. I'm liking that it is above this. Oh, that was a hard drop right towards the end, right? It looked like we're literally 3 minutes away from market closing, right? But I would love to see this close over the purple line, close over our 200. And then obviously I care how this opens in the morning, right? Again, if the pre-market starts to take off, I would also still be really cautious, right? Just be careful is really all I can say. This is the one problem with the meme stocks, right? Is if you're on the wrong side of it, it could be really bad. I do have some other lines up here, so I'll quickly flash these. But yeah, I mean, if we break the 200, there is some upside. There's actually a pretty decent. It's not quite a gap fill, right? Because obviously there's a good amount of greens. It's not just a solid red, 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 red. But this is a pretty good downhill slope that really, if it could get over this line, this 137, there's a good chance it tries to make a good run to this, basically a little over 215 line. So watch this in the morning. Look, I'll tell you, the RSI is a little high, right? But we've seen higher on past videos. So make sure you are on the right side of this when it starts. And if you are going to play this, I sincerely advise you to make sure you can literally intraday trade this thing. Have your finger on the mouse, know what to do with your entries and exits, and be careful. That's all I can say. You could definitely go up, and really the lines are there showing it could go up. The real thing is, though, you need that meme. If volume drops too hard, this will drop. If volume's there, oh man, it could go crazy, right? And for me, that's just a little too uncomfortable. I'm not going to drop some good money on something that unpredictable. For me, the lines are a little more predictable, in all honesty. I know if it looks like it's a good break, how the other indicators look like. And then again, like I've said, when I use the one right here, I do have other things aside from just these two, right? There are other lower indicators I use. All this is actually pretty much the same, in all honesty. I'm not gonna lie, there's a little bit of a difference, but whatever. But this is a good view, my chart reader view that we're looking at right here, this bad boy right here. It's a good system. And hey, if you've watched past videos, you've seen it. It could do you well if you know what you're doing. Let me look at the weekly before I go away. Oh man, this weekly looks nice. And look, the 137 actually lines up pretty well with the 50. Let me zoom in. It's a little higher than the 50, but if you can break the 137, you'll also break the 50 moving average on the weekly, right? And I've mentioned it. If the weekly is good, you should have a good week coming in. I'll be honest though, if I was to say how this could go poorly, I could see us drop. Let me go on the daily. Let me make my prediction on the day. Oh man. So look, if this thing is it 5 o'clock? Okay, so it's now end of the day and we actually closed above it, right? So give me a second. The 200 moving average is 1.16. It looks like as of my time, 5 o'clock, we are at 1.18. So we closed over. That's nice. All that said, if tomorrow it's under 115, I'd be real scared. Because really, under 115, it could drop to 104, even this 192. I don't think it would drop all the way to the 100, but I mean, a wick isn't very supportive, you know what I mean? So the goal will be that this opens at 120 and goes from there, right? But again, just be careful on this one. Be careful on this one. CYBN. Okay, so again, another big banger, right? A 20 in one day. But I'll say this one looks a little bit more predictable. So this one actually had a pretty good break of the 8 and just riding all these, right? It's really funny to see these negatives here, but still actually going up and riding the 8, right? I don't know, just a little comical in all honesty. But CYBN, I will say, almost like with mind medicine, right? This is a higher RSI as well, but look at that. It's gotten as high as 90s before, right? So just kind of same comment. I'll make my lines right now, but if this opens below the 200, what's the 200 at? 0.92. If this opens below 0.92, I would get pretty scared because I can easily see it dropping to 85 cents. That's very easy to see, really. Mainly because of this little guy right here, right? If it opens above the 200, hey, even if it opens a cent above where we closed at 0.97, I'd be pretty happy, you know what I mean? So let's get a couple lines drawn. We will use this one because it's just so immediate. We will use this one because that's a good peak. Let's start going up a little bit. I'll use that guy right there. Oh, it looks like we're there already. Nice. And then let's use this low. Sorry. I think that's a good low one to use. Damn. Oh, man. CYBN. All right. So CYBN, check this out. It's kind of like, really, it's almost this line. Has it broken this? I did. If we can get a confirmation of this break, we're then going to come up to this kind of tranche right here, right? The next tranche will be here, which is where I'm going to draw my next line. And then that's a pretty good climb right there. So CYBN, again, be careful, right? You want to see how this starts in the morning. I think I'm going to use, I'll use that. I'm okay with that line, actually. And then, sorry, let me put one more in the top of this clump right here. Yeah. Okay, cool. This is a pretty good step up and step down for CYBN. Again, our RSI is a little high. This bad boy is C90 though. And look, that's a really pretty MACD, So there's a lot of signs here. Again, a 20 banger on a day is a little scary, right? I'd be worried to get in tomorrow. Ideally, you got in, maybe even on this day, right? You get a good break of the 100 as well as, starting to come into this line, right? But be careful. Really, I kind of wish I didn't do this new sector the day after it went meme crazy, but again, we'll also see it after the meme stuff calms down, right? So ATAI Life Science. Okay, so interesting. This one might be a little on the calmer side compared to the rest, and maybe we'll get a little bit of love because this actually has a pretty nice setup if you want to know the truth, right? We have a relatively low RSI. It hasn't even hit 70 yet. It seems like the green, yeah, look at that. I can barely see, but the green is peeking over the red right there. And it looks like we just saved ourselves on the, I would see, because I would put the line right here. I realize that there's one right here, and it also looks like we broke it. But this is a little bit more important of a line because it hits the green twice right there. Let's make this a line right here. Boom. And then let's make this a line or that one. We're literally within a penny. I'm okay with that right there. And then I think I'll use that one. Yeah, I'll use that one and that one. It might be a little overload, but that's okay. Okay, I like that right there. I don't think we need that right there. No, I like that right there. So look, ATAI might be the safest of them. You know, I don't know what the volume is. You know, I might actually start adding a volume indicator to these charts. I'm writing a little note for myself. I think I'm going to do that so we can start talking about volume, especially if I'm going to look at these meme ones. Because again, look, if the volume is there, the memes will keep going. Once volume drops, the memes don't stand a chance. It's just, it is what it is, you know. But this has a pretty interesting setup, and I like that it was only a 5%er today, right? It wasn't a wild double-digit thing, so this could sustain one more day, and that's a pretty fucking candle right there. Sorry to curse. I try not to curse too much, but that's nice. Let me look at the weekly here real quick. Oh, that's a good weekly. So we actually broke the 20, got a week of confirmation, and are looking at a second week of confirmation. So, and man, look at that gap fill. ATAI looks interesting. I'm not going to lie. Put this one on your watch list if you haven't. Get some alerts on your phone. Again, this is not financial advice by any means, but I'm talking out loud, right? And look, I hope you know, none of these are scripted. You know, we're kind of looking at this all for the first time, except that first one, because that's a ticker I know. Interesting. Compass, CMPS. So why did I say interesting? So clearly, what are we looking at, right? Look at that. I mean, that is as pretty a writing the 8 as it gets, right? Obviously, a little hiccup there, but the 20 wasn't that far away, so you get a little protection from the 20. But, I mean, since June, look at that. That's just riding it up and actually dropping a little more than double the money, right? Because right when we break it, you can call it 9, and we just crossed the 1820, right? So there's been a lot of profit made here, right? That said, what just happened? Look, we've seen it a couple times. You break a big line, you drop a little bit, and hopefully you come up, right? As it dropped, it literally stayed on the 200 the whole time, and it hopefully looks like this 20 might be taking it up. It's still under the green, right? We're still under the 8, but if this can open over the 8, this could be interesting. It looks like the RSI is also trying to turn around, right? So again, as it doubled, it got as high as 84. It took a little bit to calm down. That's pretty much what this is right here. And hey, maybe it's enough momentum to go back up. But Compass does look pretty interesting, actually. Let me, oh man, yeah, a lot of these just are filling these like tank gaps, right? I don't know how else to call it, but look, we're literally, look at that. That's where, I mean, look, I'm telling you, I love my lines. I hope you guys are coming to like my lines as well, but man, these horizontals, they do me well. Again, though, this is not financial advice. I have to like say that a bunch of times, right? But this for sure is not. This is hopefully at least something you're learning the power of technical analysis. I'll tell you, it changed how I trade for sure. Let's put that right there. And then let's come a little closer for some more current lines. I'll use this one right here. That looks like an important one. I like that. Okay, we'll stick with this. I'll even put, no, that's a good because we have a couple up, a couple down. Yeah, I like this. So look, Compass. Hopefully, it is actually doing because look, it saved. Hopefully it goes up because this line's only going to be able to support it so many times before it drops, right? So, you know what? Let me put one more line just in case it does do a nastier drop. And look, it lined like I saw this hit 1, 2, 3, 4 as I was speaking. That's why I put it. But Yeah, I don't see us going much lower than the 50 if it drops. But again, 100% gain, got high RSI, a very expected cool down. Let's see if this bounces up. Let me look at Compass on the weekly. Okay, not as pretty a weekly because of this break on the 50, right? It just, like I said, it just ran from June till now, hit the 50, and kind of, almost at this point where it's losing 50% candle, right? So, ooh, dropped my pen. Let's see how Friday ends, but yeah, Compass doesn't look as good as ATAI, but it still does look a little safer than the first two because, again, it didn't go meme crazy, right? The last one we'll look at, just because it is going a little longer than I wanted to, is SEEL. Oh, shit. Damn. Look at that. That's a nice chart. This isn't a ticker I knew, actually. I'll be real honest with you. So, look. This was a nice break of the 100 right here. Just held it. Used the 20 to not go too far low. And then, I don't know if this was meme or not, but honestly, SEAL is not a stock I know, but that's a really nice chart. And look, that's a pretty RSI, right? Just green up, red down, and we're still in the 70s. Look like the MACD is gonna peak. Again, same comment as Mind and CYBN. If this opens above the 200, if this opens above $1.10, make sure your finger's on the mouse when you have your money in, right? Because this can go a bunch of different ways, right? Also watch volume. If volume drops significantly from yesterday, go away, right? If volume's there, you break the 200, oh man, this could be real nice. Let me draw a couple lines real quick. We'll put one right there. Let me just use the top line. I'll use that one right there. Oh, wow, I swear I didn't even see it yet. But as I moved it, it pretty much hit right on top of the line. Look at that. I'll use the bottom for this one. And then really there's not too many more lines to draw, right? And there's one right there. There's one right there. It's right there, so that's a good line. And then I do see one more just across those three right there. There's a little bit of a thickness right here. I'll put one right there. I see one. I think that's a good line. Yeah. Oh, look, that's actually where this ended too. Hilarious. I'm telling you, I love my lines, people. I sincerely hope you do too. But again, none of this is financial advice, right? We'll put one right there. And then I think we'll use the 50 as the last one. Again, Mind, MNMD, CYBN, and SEEL. Fat gainers on a day, right? Almost 20%. The other Mind was almost double this, right? So make sure your finger's on the mouse. ATAI looks interesting. And then I'm also going to watch CMPS. So, hey, I hope you're learning. Hit follow if you haven't. And again, I really hope you're learning. Got to say it one more time.